Hello everyone, welcome to ChessVisor, your wise choice to improve your chess. In today's video, I'm going to show you the 5 best chess tricks and traps in Grob's attack. And please note this opening is not popular one, so you can surprise every opponent when you have the white pieces. As usual, these tricks and traps should be used only in the bullet blades and rapid games, because where your opponent will not have much time to think to give the right response, and you can win the game easily. So if you are new here, consider subscribing the channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the new videos. So without any further delay, let's get started. White starts the game with g4. Yes, you heard it right, the pawn g4 move. When you play this move, your opponent will think that you are the naive player, and he will think that he is going to win the game sooner. But that's not true, because after this move, your opponent will try to grab the center with the pawn to d5. And not only that, he is also opening the bishop's diagonal to attack the g4 pawn. And now white can play bishop to g2, which invites the black piece to capture on, or a black bishop to capture on g4. So after bishop takes g4, we are going to deflect the d5 pawn with a c4. Here comes our first trap, because if he accepts it, then we can go ahead and capture the b7, and after knight to d7 we can win the exchange right out of the opening. So after the queen recapture, we can play pawn to f3. From here onwards, white can have a good game. So let's go back and check the other variations where black did not capture the c pawn. So instead of capturing the pawn, black could play e6, which defends the pawn and also opens the light square bishop's diagonal, which will help him to develop the kingside pieces. From here, white can play queen b3, which increases the pressure in the center, and also we are attacking the b7, the weak point. After this, black has two responses. I think he can either play queen c8 or pawn to c6. Let's check the queen c8 move, and here it will branch into some other deep variations. So let's check the c6 variation later. So first, queen c8, we can play c takes d5. After this simple pawn recapture, black should be very careful, because if he takes the pawn, then bishop takes pawn will give the winning advantage for white. Because if you play c6 here, then bishop takes f7 check, ruining the castling rights after king to d8. And not only that, we are going to win the piece for free. So from here, white should win the game comfortably. So let's check the other possibility for black after c takes d5. And c6 could be another try for black. After this, we are going to kick the bishop away with h3. If bishop goes to h5, then d takes e6 and f takes e6. White is better. If not bishop h5, he will try to defend with bishop f5. In that case, we are going to play knight c3. Here again, black has two responses. One is to develop the knight with the knight f6 or taking the pawn. Let's say he plays knight f6. We can play pawn to e4, which he kicks the bishop to g6. After that, we can play d takes e6. After f takes e6, white is again better. Instead of that knight move, if he takes the pawn like this, then we can sacrifice our knight on d5. After pawn takes knight, then again the same line which we saw earlier. If he is not accepting the sacrifice, he could pin our knight. In that case, we can play queen a4, counter pinning that pawn. So after b5, we can play queen c2. Again, we are pinning the pawn, and we are taking advantage of the undefended queen. So he must play knight a6, which removes the threat of capturing the knight. After this, we can play knight f6 check. After the knight takes knight, then queen takes c6 check, queen takes queen, then bishop takes the queen check, and in the end we can win the exchange. And white is better in this variation also. So let's check the final variation for black, that's to play knight f6 after c takes d5. We can capture the e pawn. Once the bishop recaptures it, we can play queen takes b7, queen takes b7, bishop takes b7. If he plays bishop to d5, we are going to capture the rook anyway. So after he recaptures our bishop, we can play pawn to f3. White is clearly better and he can win the game. So let's go back and check the other possibility, or the other main possibility. Instead of queen c8, black could try pawn to c6, and here white should capture that pawn If c takes d5, then queen a4 check will win the bishop and the game. And this is very common tactical pattern in the Grob's attack. Whenever the bishop is hanging on the other side of the board, you can try this trick. So let's check the other one. If not c takes d5, then he will take with the other pawn. So e takes d5. Then here white can capture on b7. After knight to d7, white should play knight c3. And here you should not blunder the game away by capturing the c6 pawn, because black can win the game immediately by rook to c8. If you save the queen, it is rook takes c1 is a checkmate, and or you should give up the queen for the rook and play knight c3, and black is winning the game now. That's why we should play the knight move before capturing the c6 pawn, and he will play knight to e7. And here in this variation, I think this is the only variation where black is slightly better than white, and it is okay to play with the white pieces, but it's worth to try out these tricks and traps. So anyway, thanks very much for watching this video till the end. If you enjoy this trap, please like this video. Let me know your ideas, thoughts and suggestions in the comment section below. And still, if you are not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to check the playlist section for more chess tricks and tricks like this. And this is Chess Wiser, your wise choice to improve your chess.